Hello, it's Melinda from Alexis and Melinda's Art Space. Got another art journal page today. Found a new challenge, or I don't know. Oh, yeah, I suppose it's called challenge. It's called Take5Art, and I actually saw one of my people I subscribe to called Handcrafted by Ali, another fellow Aussie, participate in this challenge, and then I decided to give it a go. So I will link her channel below, and I believe she's got a link on there to other channels as well that do it. So basically Take 5 challenge is 5 prompts. Don't have to do them in order, unlike Mission Inspiration where they are like an ordered recipe. This one is just do the 5 prompts however you want. So you can see on the screen I'm trying to stamp out a Prima doll. This is, I think, like the Cinderella doll from Prima. And I have a lot of trouble stamping. The Tim Holtz stamping platform is awesome, except when you go to use it on a trestle table. I need a proper scrapbooking table. I've been saying that for a while. If you're a long time subby, you're probably getting sick of me saying that. So I have to, yeah, be a CPR stamper. So going back to a Take 5 challenge, the prompts are splatters, washi tape, texture paste, yellow, and 2 stamps. So that's the only 5 things you got to follow. So the 2 stamps. So my first stamp is obviously the doll. The second the second thing I'm doing at the moment is texture paste. So I grab one of my stencils that I sell in my store. I'm not sure whether this one is actually on my store. I'm in the process of doing an upgrade. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. Life just gets in the way. And if you can't tell, my voice is a bit funny tonight. I do have a bit of a sore throat, but I'm persisting with some videos that I need to get edited and up while I've got some quiet time. So I decided to put the texture paste through the stencil on the girl's dress just to give it a bit of texture. Surprising, texture paste gives texture. Okay, so working in my altered art journal, my altered wine book, trying to finish this up. I've had this been going, when did I start this? It'd been nearly 2.5 years ago. Oh wow. I've worked in several journals so far, so it's not just the one art journal, but I've got a few single pages, and this particular one is great for single pages. So I just covered my book with a bit of gesso. I still wanted some of the text to show through, so I still wanted to be able to see some of that. That's the ideal thing of working in an altered book, is you can leave some of the background showing through. So one of the steps was washi tape, and I have 1 or 2 rolls, okay, probably 100 or 200. Confession time. Hands up who's got possibly 200 plus rolls and maybe more of washi tape. So I decided to use them up, and I decided to turn them into a background, which was rather cool. So mostly these ones were the ones that are on my desk, so I grabbed them and then I based my colours off them. I think these ones are Kmart ones that my daughter got me for Mother's Day or Christmas or Easter or something or other. Some occasion she went to Kmart and bought me washi tape. She knows how to spoil her mother, doesn't she? She buys their washi tape. So I like the different widths. So just basically, because the washi tape's going onto gesso, I have to put a small layer of matte gel medium, or basically glue, underneath the washi tape, and I do put it over the top to seal it as well. So that's what you can see me doing with the spatula. So just playing with the different designs and putting them in sort of a random pattern. Putting some of them, I didn't want all of them strips across the whole page. I'm tearing some of them in half, especially some of the thicker ones, to give a bit of a look as well. So I didn't want them all to be uniform and all to be the same width across I can't talk tonight, across the page. So just wanted quite a sort of artsy look, as if you've taken, I suppose, paint and swished it across the page. That's what I wanted the washi tape to look like. I have done a page like this in the past, several years ago. Oh, okay, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I loved the idea, so I wanted to revisit it. Great way to use up rolls of washi tape. I find I don't purchase that many rolls anymore unless there's one that absolutely sparks my interest, because I'm trying to use up the ones I do own. Oops. So giving that a dry with the matte gel medium, just putting my book aside. Now my texture paste is dry, so now I want to add some colours, and one of the colours was yellow, so I used the yellow in the washi tape and I also use it in Cinderella's or the Prima Doll's dress. So these are some of the original Prima Dolls that come out quite a few years ago. Everything's quite a few years ago. Yeah, I'm using old stuff. I don't know whether this one's still available for purchase or not. It's one of the original ones that come out. So these little paints, I don't know where they come from. They're sample pots. I believe they come from a class set. Again, a few years ago. Everything's a few years ago. Going through and using up a lot of bits and pieces at the moment. Trying to justify if I use it up, I can go buy new stuff. Does anyone else do that? So basically, I'm not worrying about where I'm putting the colour on the dress, just sort of plopping down some areas of colour, because I do want to put colour over the texture paste. So this is sort of the background colour. And I'm going to fussy cut these out so I'm not going perfectly in the lines either. I'm not one to sit there and colour in. This is about the most colouring I do in a minute, which is her dress and her hair and her skin. So just giving the paint a good dry off with the heat tool. I actually sort of cut a bit more of this out, shouldn't I? Oh well. I thought the video was ready for editing, ready for my voiceover, and it obviously wasn't. So welcome to all my new subbies. We had quite a few people jump on board lately. Welcome. Feel free to comment below. I love reading your comments. If I don't get back to you very quickly, I do get back to you eventually. Sometimes life gets in the way. I am a working single mum, so life sort of sometimes gets in the way of my arting and crafting. Terrible, I know. So just fussy cutting one of the girls out. I did make two in case I goofed one up, which I have a tendency to do. So if I'm making focal images, I tend to make two and then I pop one in a box and I'll use it later on, or my daughter might pinch it and use it as well. So cutting out, I cheat when I cut out her arm because I actually snip her arm off at the bottom to get into do the piece of paper behind her arm. So as you can tell, she's not standing out so much, just giving that paint a bit more of a dry. So now I decided to work on the background a bit more. So I had to use two stamps. So actually the first stamp was obviously the doll, and this is another stamp. I have no idea what this set is. Again, I've had it for yonkies years. Don't even know what brand it is because it has no packaging. I just liked the circles, and it actually had another stamp inside the circle. So I just took my Tim Holtz scissors and cut it into two stamps. My philosophy is with stamps, if I'm not going to use it as a two stamp, I may as well cut it into two separate stamps, and then I'm more inclined to use it. So I do like this circle ring without anything in it. And I do like how they hang off the edge. So I purposely, when I stamp, I do like to have them coming off the edge as well. So this is the third stamp I'm using, but this one is actually not going under the stamp brief. This one's going under Splatters. So this stamp looks like splattering. So I don't particularly like splattering because I tend to get splatters everywhere. Am I saying splattering a lot? So this stamp sort of looks like splatters, so hey, that's what I'm using. Again, these prompts are open to interpretation. So that is actually a, what's that set? I'm trying to read. A Finnabar set. I decided to use the words from that set as well that say dream on, open every door. So I stamped those on. So actually I used 4 different stamps. That's even cool. I used more than I should have. First time I've done a Take 5 challenge and I really enjoyed it. I love how this page came out. I'm trying to define my style of art journaling, and I have decided I don't have a style. I just do whatever. So I wanted to darken down the colour of on the dress, so I just took my Ranger black ink pad and tapping over the top of the texture paste, just catching the raised bits and toning down the dress, and I love how that looks. I could have put the stencil back over the top and done it with paint, but I was being lazy and I just grabbed the ink pad because it was right there from stamping, and just touched up around the edge as well, just to define the edge of the page. So just drying off my stamping before I stick my fingers in it and get it everywhere. Is anyone else a messy worker? I tend to have paint and ink and things everywhere. So now I decide the top of my doll needs a bit of colour, so I grab some alcoholic markers. Alcoholic. Oh, that's hilarious. Alcohol markers, they're not alcoholic, you don't drink them. The 12 set I got from Audi. Last year I purchased these. I don't have a lot of Copic markers or anything like that because I don't like colouring. This is my extent of colouring. These were like $14 for 12 markers, so quite reasonably priced. So I thought I would give them a go. I don't get into shading and that, and I do apologise when my big head gets in the way. Because of my eyesight and low vision, I find it really hard to do detailed work unless my nose is quite close to the page. No, seriously, I have to have my nose fairly close to the page. So when I'm colouring and stuff, I have to be quite, if I want it to be accurate and not everywhere, I have to be quite close to the piece of paper. Even though I wear glasses, glasses are pretty much useless. So I do apologise, my big head does get out of the way in a minute. So just giving her some hair, some pink, lovely pink skin, giving her a top of her shirt as well, don't know what the top of her skirt, and doing some brown hair. So this is my extent of colouring. I'd love to learn how to do all the shading and do all that beautiful stuff, but seriously I don't have the patience. This is about as much patience as I possess. Not much at all, really. For colouring, I admire the people that can sit there and colour for ages and ages, and that's just not me. I'm good at doing other things. Haven't worked out what I'm good at yet, but obviously other things. I wonder if I actually sped this bit up. This bit actually looks like it might be in real time. Oh, I stuffed up doing this one, didn't I? That's okay, you can watch me colour in real slow time. We're nearly done. Nearly done. So just, sorry about the bipping. I'm trying to move something on my computer, and obviously I can't do that while I'm recording a voice. Sorry about that. I don't know whether it would pick up that ding on my computer. So what am I doing now? Thinking. Yeah, this is not in fast forward. I do apologise. Decided to stick it down with some Liquitex matte gel medium. I was just trying to remember the name of it. Ideally I probably should have grabbed out my thicker one, but this one works just as well. I did not want to smudge the front of it, and so I was being quite careful. Even though the inks and the alcohol inks shouldn't react, sometimes they do if I haven't dried them completely. So I do have to push it down quite hard because it is cardstock, so it's 210 GSM cardstock I used to print on, and the texture paste made it quite like a heavy piece of paper. Hence why I should have got the heavier gel medium, but I persisted with this one, which is just matte gel medium. So Liquitex is my preferred brand, but I'm not a brand snob, so whatever's on sale is what I use. Usually I buy these ones at 40% off at Lincraft when they have their sales, and I usually go and buy about a 6-month supply, because I will chew through one of these tubs about a month depending on how much Alexis and I art journal. Whoops, nearly chopped her head off. That was funny. Nearly decapitated my doll. I was thinking about putting feet on her, but I couldn't really. The stamp didn't come with feet, so I didn't really know what to do. I could have got other stamps and added feet, and it all got too hard, so I left her with no feet. So she's just floating, but that's okay. She's a doll, she can float. So I don't know what I'm looking for. Seriously, I don't know what I'm looking for on the desk. Obviously something of vital importance when I was doing the page. That would be the rubbish bin I'm looking for. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. Something to wipe the gel medium off the spatula with. I was actually looking for a baby wipe. The silver bucket was actually my rubbish bin I keep on my table. So I'll just show you a close-up or semi-close-up without my light. Still trying to get better lighting for my videos. Trying to show you the texture in that, and I have put some still photos at the end. Do you like the still photos at the end? Are they helpful to see the different texture and the different bits? Let me know if you like them. I see some people do them. I see some people not do them. Just drying that off a bit more with the matte medium. So here are the close-ups. So let me know if you like the close-ups at the end. I like them because sometimes it's hard for me to see when I'm looking at a layout how the texture or that turns out. So I do like them personally, but if you don't, I can leave them off my videos. Let me know. That's all for now. Thanks for bearing with me, and I will catch you again. Bye for now.